Hi, Ashley. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good.
It's good to have you here today with us. You're here to do a one-on-one interview with me. But before we get started, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, sure. My name is Ashley. I am the team leader of the online marketing team here at Berkeley Pharma Tech.
And my name is Vanloan Nguyen. I'm the director at Berkeley Pharma.
So,
Okay, Ashley, so it seems like you have a long list of questions for me regarding the Journal of Medicine, which is a brand new journal that we're looking to launch soon. So I'm going to give you some time to ask your questions. Um, but first, tell me a little bit about your day. How are you doing in this, pandemic work from home environment?
I'm doing good. Just like everyone else, I'm tackling online classes right now. Um, it's been interesting, but I'm still getting through it.
Yes, yes, I understand. Same here. I am basically doing back-to-back meeting 5 days a week,
Mm.
and it's been, especially challenging because, like, I find that the computer is not my friend. And so it was like a big adjustment for me just to bring everything online and doing meetings
Mm.
virtually. So that has been a long process, but we're all learning every single day of our lives. So again, Ashley, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
So
of
let's
course.
dive down in. Let's dive into our topic.
Okay, yeah. So, like you mentioned, I do have a couple questions that I'm interested in knowing. The first one being, what's the primary aim of the Berkeley Pharmatech Journal of Medicine?
Yes, thank you, Ashley. Very good question. So, Berkeley Pharmatech Journal of Medicine is designed to be an online open access journal. We are going to be a brand new journal because we are a startup company in biotechnology. And the primary aim of our journal is to democratize scientific information. As you well know, Ashley, scientific information is right now mired in technical jargons and acronyms, and it's kind of constructed kind of like this special or the secret code that only the elite can understand. And we at Berkeley Pharma Tech, we think that really needs to change, and that needs to change soon. So to give you kind of a funny example, my family and friends, they come to me and they said, "Oh, you know what? I heard that memory RNA is going to be the basis of our COVID vaccine." And I'm like, "Oh, so that's so great. What's memory RNA?" And they tell me, "Well, it's the mRNA." And so I was like, "Oh, it's actually not a new term. It's just that they've confused like memory B cells with mRNA." So let's just agree, Ashley, that right now we are living in the age of information, right? And so, like, this kind of confusion over technical terms and scientific concepts and stuff shouldn't be an impediment anymore, especially to the general public. So at Berkeley Pharma Tech, we would like, when we launch the Berkeley Pharma Tech Journal of Medicine, we would like for the information to be easily accessible to all and to make the concepts easily understandable to all. So that's our primary aim here at our journal. And I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I'm also curious to know who the Berkeley Journal of Medicine actually targets. Like, what is the audience?
Yes, thank you, Ashley. So, in terms of publishing, the target audience is always going to be a twofold kind of thing, right? So, first of all, we have our readership, who we would like to be everyone who loves science and wants to explore scientific concepts further and to keep up with scientific discoveries. So that's the readership. And in terms of authorship, we would basically welcome anyone to come and publish with us, regardless of whether they're still pursuing, regardless of whether they're still pursuing their undergraduate studies or if they have a PhD and higher credentials and whatnot. So authors or anybody who has a message for the world regarding regarding science. And at Berkeley Pharma Tech, we really want to support undergraduate writers. So anyone who is new to the world publishing, and as you well know, undergraduates are new to the world, and especially in publishing, they tend to be I don't want to say neglected or anything. I think there are plenty of opportunities out there for undergraduate writers to publish their work. It's just that it's really a long, hard road, and it's a big struggle. And we know this because we have surveyed the 60 or so interns who work here at Berkeley Pharma Tech, and the feedback is that yes, it is a struggle. First of all, the journals tend to want to know, well, who are you? What kind of credentials do you have? Is your data reliable? So on and so forth. So they have all these questions. And the other thing is undergraduates tend to underestimate what a long process it is from the beginning, which is the submission process, to the end, which is the publication process. And we are mindful of of all these hardships, and we want to make the publishing process as easy and as accessible to undergraduates as possible. And especially, if you are an undergraduate writer who is, if you're an undergraduate writer who has a promising career in science, or has a promise to be a leader in the future, we would really like to support you, and we would really want you to come and publish with us.
Great. So you mentioned that you're targeting undergraduate researchers, which I think is really interesting and unique. And I want to know, what does an undergraduate researcher actually benefit from publishing in the Berkeley Pharma Tech Journal of Medicine specifically?
Yes, thank you, Ashley, for that very good question. A few benefits for undergraduate researchers that I want to highlight is that for the first year, because we're a brand new journal, there is no cost during the first year to publish with us. And on top of that, we would like to offer you a reward in cryptocurrency if your article is accepted to publish with us. So as you well know, in terms of cost with publishing, we did a quick survey out there, and a reasonable journal would charge you, a publishing cost anywhere in the range of thousands of dollars. So when it comes to cost, it's a really significant out-of-the-pocket expense. And so to make the publishing process easy and accessible to undergraduate researchers, we have made it free. So that's already a big plus. Aside from that, we're working on streamlining the peer review process, which means that we would like to shorten the time between submission and publication as much as possible. When you submit your papers for publication with us, you would also receive individualized attention from our editorial board and from our editorial staff. We also have a free editing service for those who feel that they need it. So as you know, Ashley, many of us in the US working as scientists and writers right now are, we basically come from all over the world. So English might not be our first language. And for that reason, the free editing service comes in handy for those of us who feels like we need an extra boost.
So you mentioned that you're streamlining the process of publishing in the journal for, undergraduate researchers publishing in the journal. Can you tell me a little bit more about that process of publishing?
Yes, of course, Ashley. So we've broken down the process basically into 3 steps. The first step is that potential authors should go onto our website, once we have the instructions for authors up and going. Right now it's not ready yet, but it will be ready soon. So on this web page that's designated for potential authors, go ahead and look for the types of articles that we're looking for and see if it's a good match for your article and for our journal, right? So once you've done that, then look for the Submit Your Work button and go ahead and upload your article. And it's not just the article, right? But the graphics that come along with your article, meaning graphs and charts and things like that. And also, we would ask that you include a cover letter when you submit your work. So once all that's done, then the ball's in our park. And that means that we will have a communication liaison reach out to you, and they will, keep you in the loop from the time of submission to the time of publication, and they will relay any message from the editorial board to you, and they will also walk you through the steps of possibly improving upon your paper if necessary. So from the time of submission to the time of publication, we're shooting for a quick timeline. We're looking at a 1 month period to publish your work.
Okay, great. Additionally, I know that there's a lot of other similar journals out there, like the one that Berkeley Pharma is doing, and I'm just interested in knowing what specifically differentiates the Berkeley Pharma Journal of Medicine from, other similar journals.
Yes, of course, Ashley. Maybe you've heard this before, but I'm gonna reiterate it. So at other journals, of course, they want to keep the quality of papers, at a certain level so that they would look good in the eye of the world. And we at Berkeley Pharma, to a certain extent, that's true too. But our aim is a lot more than that. Our aim is to support undergraduate research, and we would love to publish works of writers and undergraduate researchers who embrace our mission statement, which is to democratize scientific information. And it's not just about us or about our journal. At the end of the day, it's about fueling the advancement of knowledge. So anybody who feels the same about scientific information would like to invite you to come and publish your work with us. And at Berkeley Pharma, since we're a startup, we understand the struggle of the young people, anybody who's put a significant amount of effort into attempting to publish your work at any journal. And so another aim at our journal is to provide an avenue for novel ideas to flourish. So with that said, another thing that differentiates our journal is that we work to provide an individualized evaluation process for each author, and that way you feel that you're getting the help that you need to get your paper in front of the readers as soon as possible.
And just kind of to wrap up, considering the Berkeley Pharma Journal of Medicine is fairly new, why is publishing in the journal still a worthwhile decision for an undergraduate researcher?
Yes, Ashley, that's a very good question, and that's a question that many of you out there are probably asking at this moment. So I'd like to highlight a few things. Number one, as I said before, since we're new, we would like to give you the personal attention from our editorial staff, and we want to make it an individualized process as much as possible. During the first year that you publish your work with us, chances are that your work, your articles, will be prioritized, and that means it's a faster track for you from the time that you submit the article to the time that your work is available online. And at our company, we don't just examine your work, or we don't just look at your work and see if it's a good fit for our journal. We also would like to learn about who you are, and especially researchers with promising career in science and undergraduates who have demonstrated a potential to be leaders in the future. Those are the people that we would like to become authors at our new journal. And also, like I said before, anyone who embraces our mission is especially welcome.
Great. Thank you so much. I feel like I know a lot more about the journal now. I just have one more question to ask you, and that's when will the journal actually be published?
Yes. So, Ashley, right now, our editorial team is working round the clock to get the journal off the ground. As you can imagine, it is a lot of work. And when we started out researching, what it takes to launch a journal, we didn't quite realize that there was so much work to be done. But now that we have a good idea of what it takes, we are working on it constantly. So, our target launch date is May 15th of this year. And by that time, we will have 4 papers published. We have papers submitted with us already. And so by May 15th, those 4 papers will be up online, and those will be our first articles. And by around that time, May 15th, we will also officially have a call for paper. And at that time, feel free to come talk with us. We will have webinars for those of you who are curious about the process, and so on and so forth. And it's a work in progress. Thank you so much, Ashley, for your wonderful questions and for being here with us today. Do you have any other questions for us at this time?
No, that's actually all the questions I had. I just want to thank you for meeting with me, and I'm really excited to see, what the future holds for the Journal of Medicine.
Yes, thank you. I wish that you have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, of course. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.